The Arctic the Arctic region. Notice the location, their houses, their igloos, and salmon. The Arctic region is located around the North Pole, including parts of Alaska, Canada, Greenland, and Russia. The territory is home to many tribes. The Aleut, Yupik, and Inuit are well-known groups in the Arctic area. Some people call the Arctic peoples Eskimos. However, the Arctic peoples consider this name demeaning and disrespectful to their heritage. The indigenous original peoples lived in small family bands. The early Inuit people were the last native group to arrive in North America. With hostile groups throughout the other regions, they decided to make the Arctic region their home. Each member contributed to survive the bitter cold. They were strict on the division of labor. Men hunted and built homes, whereas women took care of the children, homes, and making clothes. Not many things were considered personal property. Possessions were shared as needed. Before a government was established, the Inuit tribe did not have laws or an organized society. They voluntarily appointed a leader who showed leadership qualities. The Arctic peoples lived in a polar desert. It has an extremely cold climate. It is flat and treeless with permafrost, permanently frozen ground. During winter, the temperature can reach negative 60 degrees Celsius. Due to this bitter cold climate, the territory is scarce in a large variety of food resources. The high country has permanent snow and ice. The lowlands has some grasses, sedges, and low shrubs. In the summer months, berries and other edible plants can be found. Although there are not many species of animals that made this region their habitat, some species of animals, as well freshwater and marine life, are plentiful. The early Arctic peoples were masters at adapting to this difficult way of life. The peoples of the Arctic region are great hunters and fishermen. Besides a few plants gathered in the summer months, the early peoples had to mainly rely on meat and fish for food. They hunted caribou, reindeer, musk oxen, Arctic hares, polar bears, birds, seals, whales, walruses, sea lions, salmon, and white fish. Some of the sea mammals could only be hunted in the summer months. They would smoke and store them for the winter months. Some of the Arctic peoples were, and still are, known for eating raw food. Their belief is that uncooked food saves fuel and provides their diet with essential nutrients that cooking could destroy. The peoples of the Arctic region are creative and resourceful. The early peoples used animal bones to make harpoons, spear-like tool for catching large marine animals, fish spears, bow and arrow, and fish hooks. They used the seal oil to cook meat and warm their homes. They made waterproof clothing from seal and walrus intestines, which was important to keep them dry from freezing water and rain. In addition, they created parkas, jackets from caribou fur to keep them warm. The parka would often be removed to sleep. Sweating was not a good thing in this climate because anything wet would freeze. They created the sacred drum. It was made by stretching an animal skin across a wooden hoop and is used in traditional ceremonies. They also made soapstone carvings and wall hangings. The early Arctic peoples lived in different homes throughout the year. During the summer, when they roamed inland for freshwater fishing and game hunting, they lived as nomads, wanderers. They relied on temporary tents made from caribou hides and wooden poles. Kayaks and umayaks, similar to canoes, were made from animal skin and used to travel by water. More permanent camps and villages were established as their settlements throughout their long winter. Some tribes lived in igloos. These are dome-shaped houses made from thick blocks of ice to insulate and support the structure. Other tribes lived in sod houses made from rocks, whalebone, and sod. They were built around a pit. In frozen conditions, dog sleds were used for travel. Dog sleds are still used today. The Arctic peoples have many traditional beliefs and customs. Animism is a religious belief that all natural objects have souls or spirits. This includes animals, plants, rocks, thunder, rain, mountains, and rivers. The indigenous peoples have a deep respect for the spirit of the animals they hunted. They believe that illness and hardships are caused by misconduct or displeased spirits. Some treatments include atonement, making amends, and the ceremonies are led by a shaman. Shamans are leaders in the tribe. They use charms and dances to communicate with the spirit world. During ceremonies, the traditional shaman wear masks to represent humans and animals. The masks are believed to enable communication with the spirits. Other traditions they value include listening and Inuit vocal games. Listening is the most important tradition of many Arctic peoples. Paying close attention to the elder telling the story while restricting body movements strengthens self-discipline, positive thinking, and cognitive ability. Imagery is also enhanced and good for the mind. The Inuit people play the Inuit vocal games, also known as throat singing. It is when a wide range of sounds are produced from deep in the chest and throat. So your assignment today is ACE the text evidence. A is answer, C is cite, and E is explain. So answer, cite, and explain. So why is the territory scarce in resources? Answer, then prove where you found it, and explain it. Next one, why do they smoke the sea animals? Answer, find evidence, and explain. And why did they take the parkas off to sleep? Answer, cite, explain. And second page, how did they keep their skin from getting wet? Why were early Arctic people sometimes nomads? And why do shaman use charms, dances, and masks? Don't forget to add your notes to your notebook from this region.